Hello and welcome to episode 116 of JagaVision. I'm Jared Nyberg. I am co-owner of JagaSilk, and we've been doing these shows for 116 weeks plus, actually, because we've taken a little bit of some breaks. Recently, since coming back from our holidays in the end of August, we started to do these shorter shows. If you're interested in our talks where we have a guest on and we talk at length, there are quite a number of them. Doing a little bit more of these theme talks. Our lovely honorary co-host, Sherri Anne from Sister Speak, often joins us. She is here right now, actually, on the call. She needs to leave at 2:10, which is in 3 minutes. So I figured we'd just have a quick hello, and then we go to our topic today, which is these Darjeeling estates. So maybe I'll tell her a little bit about that. But first of all, Sherri Anne, are you there?
I am here. Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Good. I am sipping a matcha at Matchstick.
At Matchstick. Okay. Amazing.
Mm.
And that's so we are I guess I was going to talk about some Darjeelings today, and they actually serve a number of our teas there at Matchstick. And for those watching, Matchstick Coffee is in
Yes.
Vancouver, and they are serving actually our full line. They're bringing on a really exciting new green tea pretty soon too, a Shui Long, which you should try out next time you're there. Amazing. There's Matchstick Coffee. Cool. Okay. How's
Let's
your drink?
see. What's that?
How's your drink?
So good. It
Amazing.
is. I come here every time I'm in Vancouver. I I had actually worked like all day yesterday and got Singer's Delight as well.
Nice. It must be very
And
cool
it
to
was
see that blend that we worked on together at a cafe and just out and about.
yeah.
Hey, and
And it was cool also because on that stream when Joe suggested the name.
yeah, right. So there's even
Um,
more meanings.
and she looked up on the board and she was like, "Whoa!"
There it is.
She's like, "This is so trippy."
Yeah,
and
amazing. Yeah, very
you,
cool.
you and Mew just have this genius herbal formula intuition. So all the
Oh,
combined forces,
we're
just
able to make this happen. That's very sweet. You know,
it's yeah.
the next there's actually they have a peppermint, elderflower, and yuzu on the menu there as well. The
Yes.
replacement for that is actually going to be peppermint again, but it's going to be blended with rose hips and butterfly pea flower. So, uh,
Oh, cool.
yeah, and butterfly pea flower gives it this really vibrant purple color, but it's also used in Ayurvedic medicine, good for just building up immunity. And the rose hips, of course, lots of vitamin C. The peppermint helps with mild headaches and gives you a little bit of pep in your step. So
Yeah.
yeah, worth checking out. But you're coming over. You leave in literally now for the to
Yeah.
come to Victoria because we're doing a really exciting show that everybody needs to know about. You want to quickly tell them and then blast?
Yeah, yeah, I wanted to make sure I can make the right ferry. Yeah, the show's gonna be so fun, right? It's a Kaya
Takea.
event.
Yeah. We're
Takaya?
yes, Takea. I think it's Takea. Yeah, I was always saying
Takaya.
Takaya, but it's apparently an indigenous word that they say Takea.
Takaya.
Yeah.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
okay, so we have peaches and cream on at noon, and then
Just
Steve
canceled.
Schmiller.
She's got a
Oh,
cold and she doesn't want to get anybody affected, and she can't sing with the cold. So last minute
yeah.
cancellation of Peaches and Cream. But yeah, Steve Schmiller, you're playing, and on my band too, and you might join me for a couple songs.
Yes, I'm down with those two songs you suggested. I'm 100% in. So you were saying, so then what time would you like the music to officially to start then?
We're gonna do pre-recorded music, 10 some songs that are written by different artists. So if those watching Takea Wolf
Cool.
Festival is about the legacy of Takea the wolf, who lived on Discovery Island for a number of years before swimming to the shore here in Victoria, being transported out to Port Renfrew and subsequently shot and killed, which was really shocking and sad. And so this is a festival to commemorate the legacy and also to raise funds for Pacific Wild, which is a society that's pushing for ending the trophy hunting of wolves. Um, And that's something we want to stand behind, and we're really stoked to do so. So JagaSilk's providing tea for the event, and then my band Truth and Dolphins playing and providing the music. Sherri Anne is going to be there with her Sister Speak solo performance, and then Steve Schmiller, who is my guitarist for my band, is also an amazing visual artist, and he's going to be performing as his own music project as well. So yeah, that's music's going to start at 10 essentially, and then the actual live performances will start around 11, and there's going to be a little bit of flexibility until we hit that 1 o'clock prearranged start time where Steve's going to be doing a show. 2 o'clock is going to be Sister Speak, and then 3 o'clock is Truth and Dolphin. We might edit that a little bit just because Peaches and Cream is not coming anymore, but it's just going to be whatever you and Steve are comfortable with. So, yeah.
Okay, so it's casual. We can meet people.
Yeah.
That'll be really special. And, there's actually a music festival happening in Jordan River, which is very isn't that near Port Renfrew?
Wow. Yeah, it is near Port Renfrew. Yeah.
On the same day.
Oh, wow. On the same day. Well, it's Labor Day weekend.
But it's at night.
Or is it Labor Day weekend? No, it's not. Yeah.
No, it's and it's the day. It's at night, though, that one.
And something else is happening on Saturday. I'm also turning the big 4-0, so that's an exciting.
That's why I'm all in.
Yeah.
This whole weekend, you got everybody here.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. Yeah, it's
the whole family's excited for your big day.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So, but you got to get on a ferry. You're looking at 2:13. You got a blast.
Okay.
Hey? Yeah.
I was gonna say that Jill was able to work out from Blockstar.
Yeah.
A full family time in her middle of her season contract.
Oh wow. Okay. So that's amazing too. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So that's how much you mean to all of us.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing Jill, looking forward to seeing you. Looking forward to seeing everybody really. I'm really stoked. I think you would tell you how excited I am. So
we're stoked.
But enjoy your matcha. Get on that ferry, and we'll see you. We'll see you when we see you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You take care.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Peace. Enjoy the Darjeeling. I'll be drinking some tomorrow.
Amazing. Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Bye. Thanks so much.
See ya. Okay. So that was Sherri Anne from Sister Speak joining us. I'm going to quickly make you some tea. I want to talk about some teas that we're actually going to be serving a cold infusion of this tea for the tea and music series that we do, the musical tea series. The final one is going to be held on October the 8th. And for that, it's actually going to be my band, Truth and Dolphins, Steve Schmiller. So if you're coming down to see Takeo, you're going to see a little taste of what that's going to look like in terms of music. But on the day of, you also get a flight of tea. There's also some house dessert. Tickets are sold on our webpage. So you can go to JagaSilk.com and get that. Just make it happen. So for today's sort of short and sweet show, I wanted to compare two different Darjeeling side by side. Again, they're going to be cold brewed and served in champagne flutes on the day of, on October 8th. These teas, so I have two different estates. One is called Avongrove. They're both first flushes. So what's kind of interesting about the Darjeeling sort of, you could say what makes them really interesting is that they're really early harvest. And in wine they have Beaujolais Nouveau, basically there's this big hoorah about getting that first wine out of France and getting your first Beaujolais of the season. That kind of dates back to when it was really hard to get your wine where it wasn't oxidized. So people were really excited about finally a year later getting getting wine that wasn't oxidized. So what we're doing here is we're kind of giving you we're talking about a tea or a region that's really famous for its early harvest. So in the world of tea, having a first harvest at the end of February, early March is really, really early. And that's what your first flush Darjeelings are doing. Now, it's always been my opinion that it should be less important the date that you harvested and more important whether or not the plant was ready to be harvested. And what often happens is for this race to get you the earliest Darjeeling origin tea, you get you get into a situation where people harvest too early. So what we like to do is we bring in a number of different samples and we cup them side by side, and then we give ourselves sort of a sense of what that's going to look like for tea that's been harvested at the right time, the right moment, I guess, for that tea. When we were done our cuppings of a number of different selections from the Darjeeling region, these were a couple standouts. One was the Gadapahar estate, which we love. They have this certified organic program. They were able to give us some really clear cultivar information. My understanding is both of these are employing the Ambari cultivar. Now, in Darjeeling, you definitely see people. You definitely see people doing a focus, if you will, on crimson tea. When we talk about crimson tea again, the enzymatic oxidation, and this one here, by the way, is Avongrove. This one here is Gadapahar. So Gadapahar, Avongrove. So that you're looking at Gadapahar. Now here's Avongrove. So really similar look to the leaves, but the Avongrove is a little bit deeper oxidation, and your Gadapahar is a little lighter oxidation. The Gadapahar isn't rolled as tightly as the Avongrove is, so likely for a similar infusion time, you're going to get a stronger taste, at least in terms of that kind of grassiness and stuff. And first flush Darjeelings are kind of interesting because although when we say Darjeeling, it's almost means what North Americans call black tea, or at origin would be called crimson tea. It kind of just, that's what it is. When you say Darjeeling, that's what you're drinking, a crimson tea, aka black tea. The reality is that it's not that simple. The difference again between green teas, oolongs, crimson teas is the control over that polyphenol oxidase enzyme, that PPO enzyme. And you're finding that PPO enzyme is gonna brown the leaf. It's gonna transform the cell structure of the. You're doing a combination of passive and active oxidation, where as it's kind of wrinkling and drying and withering, it is going through a process of oxidation that ideally you're controlling with humidity. You're speeding it up at certain points through active oxidation, where you're actually crushing and rolling the leaves. And you're going to be doing this very careful manipulation of that enzyme to bring out these really interesting flavors. The person who gets a lot of credit for this work is going to be the garden manager. The garden manager in Darjeeling, you get some really famous ones. You get some famous estates, but really I like to follow the work of different garden managers. And one thing that's been interesting is that Gadapahar seems to have had the same one for a long time. So I may be speaking incorrect information here, but it is my understanding that it's been the same person for quite a long time. It's been a very consistent estate as a result, and I'm really, really happy with it. The owners of the Doak estate that we work with are also owners of the Gadapahar estate as well, or have very not necessarily the full ownership, but anyway, they're really intimately involved in the operation of the company. So we're stoked to try these out. So Avongrove, I don't have as much information on, but it is a stellar example of what's possible out of these first flush Darjeelings. First flush Darjeelings are not oxidized so heavy, and honestly, if you saw them in any other country, they wouldn't even be called crimson tea. Nobody would call these black teas. They would be calling them oolongs. They are so much more similar to, say, an Oriental Beauty than they are to most crimson teas that you see coming out of other countries. Okay, so I'm going to pop these in. I've done 3.5 grams in each one here. I'm going to steep them for 3.5 minutes. And I am going to pour in 180, no, 210 grams is going to fill this teapot right up. And so 3.5 grams, 210. So that means 1 gram for every 60 mils or every 60 grams of water. I like using this 80 degrees centigrade water. And let me see. Okay, so it's kind of a cool timer because I can set 2 times, which is going to be nice. So I'm going to start that. That's going to be 210. And yeah, the leaf appearance, like I said, a little bit different between these two teas. The second timer. And tear that. And then I'm going to set it for 3 minutes and 15 seconds as well. I think I said 3 minutes and a half. I kind of go back and forth between them. I have found over the years though that 90 degrees centigrade on a first flush quality Darjeeling selection is just too hot. You're gonna burn it. I actually think that's one of the reasons why first flush Darjeelings are so popular in Japan, is because the unit that they're using, they're often by a company called Zojirushi, so ubiquitous actually that a lot of people call it Zojirushi in English, or some sort of reinterpretation of the word. It means that they're generally getting 80 degrees centigrade water, and the 80 degrees centigrade water is going to be more ideal than the boiling water you see a lot of people put on their crimson teas in North America. So the 100 degrees is really going to damage these leaves. We're packing these leaves down actually tomorrow. So if you're in Victoria, you can probably pop by as early as next week, and you'll be able to at least ask for a sneak preview of this tea. Honestly, I should have released this a long time ago. I get these really nice teas after we cup them, and I get really excited about them, but I need to have a better system for releasing them. Yeah, that one smells very proteiny, like peas, getting a little bit of roastiness in the nose. Very beautiful light oxidation, tiny leaves. So in Darjeeling and in Assam, they do talk a lot about FTG FOP, or finest tippy golden flowery orange pico, and my opinion on that is that it's just not an ideal way of working with your tea. Essentially what they're doing is like a coin separator. They have this filter system where they're putting the tea through, and they're keeping the really big leaves at the top, and all of the sediment falls through to the bottom. They're sieving out, really, in my opinion, flavor complexity. I think that when you get a hand-rolled tea like I have here, these are both hand-rolled, and you're not filtering them out into these SFTG FOPs, I think that you are going to have a nicer, more complex flavor experience. Yeah, that's smelling like candy. And yeah, just really, really nice. Okay. Gonna get that decanter. 30 seconds until the next decanter. Okay. Okay. Put that on the stage here for you to see. Then I'll take a sip. I'm just gonna. Okay. So you can see that it has that nice, beautiful color, kind of like a golden, almost yellow. Let's see that next to the Gadapahar. Gadapahar, as expected, appears to have a more intense extraction for the same amount of time. So we're seeing a in the same decanter, same time, same temperature, a noticeably I should actually put it like this. A noticeably different color. So you can see Gadapahar and you can see Avongrove. very different extraction colors. To me, it looks like the one on my left here, the Gadapahar, is a much nicer color. It's more, but I shouldn't say nicer. It's just a deeper color. And I would hazard that if I had my bricks meter with me, this would be a higher concentration of dissolved solids. So I'm in a different studio today. So I'm gonna pour that in. So again, see the color. This is the Gadapahar. I probably should start with the Avongrove. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just put that down on the tray here, and then I will drink the Avongrove first. So the Avongrove, deeper oxidation. I'm more attracted to lighter oxidations. I find that they get really nice and floral, but many lament that it's the lighter oxidation Darjeelings that are getting more and more into oolong territory, and you no longer have a classic flavor. Yeah, that needs 3.5 minutes for sure. I'm gonna cheat. Nobody is watching, right? So I'm gonna cheat by just adding that back in, because that is not an acceptable extraction. Don't do this at home. This is not a nice way to cup your tea, but I don't want to waste this really beautiful tea. Many people say, and I agree with this, that it's your first cup that's going to be your worst cup of a particular tea. And this is my first time making this tea since the samples came in. So I'm doing another 15 seconds. That's not a true extra 15 seconds. It's total cheap, but it gives you a sense of what a longer extraction would taste like. This smells beautiful at 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Very nice, proteiny, like everything that I'm personally looking for in a Darjeeling, I am tasting in this Gadapahar. I know that the Avongrove is beautiful. At least it was when we bought it. And I think what I was tasting just now is purely under extraction. You can already see an improvement in color. It's getting a closer in shade to the Gadapahar with that extra 15 seconds. I'm going to... Yeah, it smells beautiful now. Wow. Yeah, nice and perfumey. Yeah, really nice and perfumey. That extra 15 seconds. If I did that... yeah. So that is very emblematic of the terroir of Darjeeling, because in Darjeeling, the really beautiful crimson teas are often called the champagnes of crimson teas. And it's because of that muscatel nose and flavor, and I'm really getting that almost candied grape. If you've ever had those cotton candy grapes, it kind of reminds me of that. That's really nice with that extra 15 seconds. So yeah, and very like rich. Like this is this Gadapahar is more like lots of umami, a really, really nice sort of sweet candy aromatic. I think that the Avongrove is probably more representative of the Avongrove is probably more representative of what you're looking for in a sort of like a classic Darjeeling, and I guess that makes sense because the oxidation was noticeably a little bit like a shade or a hair deeper, whereas this lighter oxidation Gadapahar was not. So yeah, wow. This Gadapahar though is so it's like drinking a dessert. There's amazing umami. I'm almost thinking like light custard, and then I'm getting kind of this orangey sugared something. Really nice. Yeah, both of these are fantastic. I think I think when we cold brew these, they're just gonna be mind blowing. So anybody watching these shows, if it's still up there, you need to drink these. You really do. So come to JagaSilk, say hello, ask for these next week. We will have them packed down, and it'll get me on top of making sure that there's a little pouch name for it, etc. But yeah, one will be probably Ambari by Gadapahar, and the other one will be Ambari by Avongrove. Really encourage you to get both. We'll also have on October 8th at the show, we'll have these cold brewed. They're going to be so good as cold brew. You need to come down, drink them, and even better yet, grab a bottle of the cold brew tea in the champagne bottle and get yourself some pouches, and then you can have this hot infusion of the Gadapahar and of the Avongrove, and then you can have the champagne bottle, which is going to be epic as well. So that's it. I was just comparing two different estates. This isn't maybe comparing wasn't the right word, but drinking them. I already knew that I loved them because I cupped these with the team at JagaSilk and we loved them. So we brought in a small amount of each one. Then this is the first time though I've had them since we brought them in. I should have had them a lot sooner. I regret not doing so. Absolutely fantastic. So you can check us out on our webpage. Go to jagasilk.com. If you want to look at past episodes of JagaVision, you can go on our YouTube channel and you can check out archived episodes there. There's a playlist that's just full episodes of JagaVision. You can also go there and look at our different how-to videos and that kind of thing as well. So yeah, I really encourage you to try these out, though. These are absolutely fantastic. The two different Darjeelings. Really appreciate you watching today. I look forward to hanging out with you again next week. If you like these videos, please click subscribe, click the notification button, the bell, and then when we go live, you will know. So yeah, have a fantastic day and take care.